What is up, guys? Today I'll bring you guys an updated DDD deck profile.
Don't lose your way, your mind free how to be as a one.
So obviously the reason we are getting this list is we finally got our hands on Genghis, one of the main key contributors to this deck. However, I will say that this deck is not quite where it needs to be. We do have the structure deck coming next year, which I am definitely looking forward to that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. First off, we have 3 copies of DDD Savant Kepler. Kepler is basically your main searcher of the deck. Whenever it's normal or special summon, it has an effect that allows you to bounce a DDD card, but that's kind of irrelevant in the current list because you don't really pendulum summon as much, so that the main reason that effect is even there in the first place was that you could reset your pendulums. But anyway, the main effect you'll be using is it can add 1 dark contract to the deck of your hands. This searches your Miracle Fusion or / Poly spell. This searches your Gate, which is the most important one, and any of the other ones you might be playing. Next up, we have 3 copies of DDD Oblivion Abyss King Ragnarok. This was not reprinted in the Megatins. This card has gone up to about, I think, $5 to $8 a piece, for good reason. You have to play 3 of this card. Whenever it has basically both its pendulum and monster effects allow you to special summon more monsters. Its pendulum effect allows you to special summon a DD from the graveyard when you special summon a DD monster, but that battle damage attack you take 1,000. That monster hits the field. The on-field effect is whenever it's normal special summon, you can special summon 1 DDD monster from your graveyard, and then it can tribute a DD monster in your control to banish it. Really amazing card. Absolutely integral to the deck. I would never ever play less than 3 Ragnarok cards. Really important. And for the other level 8, of course, this is the new card from Dark Illusion. We have DD Savant Thomas. Thomas is really in the full power build. This probably will go down to 1, but for now it's at 2. Its pendulum effect is actually really good because it allows you to recycle your 1 face-up DD pendulum monster from your extra decks. You can finally recycle those Keplers from your extra deck. It's really nice. I use that effect decently often. So on-field effect allows you to pop a DD card in your pendulum zone to special summon a level 8 DDD monster from your deck in defensive position, and it has the half battle damage, and all that stuff that Ragnarok pendulum effect has. Really good card. 2 is kind of a good. You don't want to really play 3, and I don't play Trade-In in this particular build. Then we have 2 Leonidas. This will not be in the full powered version. Leonidas is one of my basically whenever you take damage while it's in your hand, you can special summon, and then you gain equal to the damage you took. I actually like the card in this particular list simply because we don't have a lot of DDD monsters to fill out our list, so it's kind of like it's there because of that. Then of course it would be a DDD list without 3 of each of the slimes. We have 3 Swirl Slime and 3 Necro Slime. Swirl Slime is actually, when I first read Swirl Slime, I didn't think it was that good, but it's basically a polymerization in the hand, and then it can banish itself from the it's a fusion summon. Then it can banish itself from the grave to special summon a DD monster from your hand. Really important for combos. I wouldn't ever play less than 3. Necro Slime is always a card I have love-hate relationship. It's a Miracle Fusion in the graveyard. You kind of play 3 because for consistency reasons, but it's actually really it's really important, good because it's a level 1, so it combos, it's searchable and it combos really well for some of your other cards. Then for the last DD, we have 1 copy of DD Baphomet. Some of the TCG builds I've seen play 2, but I just like 1. It's not a great card, but it allows you to, it's kind of like helps you to get your Kepler out of attack mode. One thing I always tell people playing this deck, avoid leaving your Kepler on the field at all costs. Fusion summon with it, seed summon with it, do whatever you have to, just make sure your Kepler does not stick on the field. Then for the last 3 monsters, I have 2 copies of Jet Synchron and 1 copy of Plague Spreader Zombie. These 3 cards, one of these might be a glow up bulb in the future. I'm kind of thinking of maybe 1 this, 1 glow up, and 1 this. They're basically, these tuners are here literally to get you to Omega. They can do other things like make Formula Synchron, make Meteor Burst Dragon, but that's the main reason they're here, to get you to your Omega. And Omega is like absolutely brutal in this deck. Then for the spells, of course, it wouldn't be a DDD list without 3 Dark Contract with the Gate. Gate is basically whenever during your main phase you can activate it to search any DD, add 1 DD monster from deck to the hand. If this is on the field for any more than 2 turns, like you probably won at that point, card's absolutely amazing. You want to see it as early as possible, so you play 3. Then we have the 2 copies of DD of Dark Contract with a Swamp King. I know a lot of the OCG builds that are full power play 1. I like 2 currently because Blue Eyes is a thing. I find myself needing the second one because Spirit Drake had banished my first one, especially when we don't have cards like Lami and all the power cards the OCG has. We could probably get away with 1, but I like 2 just for now, in the current build. Then, of course, recently unlimited, we have the 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. This card is absolutely brutal in this deck. There's so many extra, you always have something to banish off of this, whether it's one of your extra dead Necro Slimes or extra copy of Savant Thomas. I would never play less than 3. The card is, brutal in this deck. Then we have the 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. These might be Twin Twisters in the future. For the same reason, Allure, you can chuck Necro Slimes to set up combos. For now, it's MSTs, but this might be Twin Twisters in the future. Just letting you guys know. And for some of the outside text, we have the 2 copies of Where Art Thou. This is a card, if you don't already have it and you're picking up DDDs, this is a card you need to look for. So you don't know what it does. It says, if you control a face-up level 1 monster, add 1 level 1 monster from your deck to your hand. During the end phase of this turn, you take 2,000 damage. You do not normal summon or the added monster card with the same name after activating this card. The thing you have to remember about that effect is that the 2,000 seems steep, but the thing is, if you have D-Arc out, you will gain life instead from this card. And in this particular build, where we don't have Lamia, it searches out your Jet Synchrons and your extra copies of Kepler. Pretty decent. Then we have the 2 copies of Pendulum Rising. It's an interesting card I wanted to test out in the deck. If you don't know, basically Pendulum Rising was really popular in some of the Dark Pepe builds because you could Pendulum Summon, you could turn a second donkey on the field into a sorcerer. And this is kind of the same theory with this. Basically, you're turning a dead Necro Slime or any level 1 you need in the graveyard into a Kepler to kind of get the ball rolling. Basically, it's like another searcher for Kepler, which I really like that. This is a card I'm probably the most iffy about. It was 2 copies of Transmodify. This was played in some of the early TCG builds. Basically, the main combo is you have a D-Arc out and you Transmodify D-Arc into Oblivion King and then to Abyss Ragnarok. Then Abyss Ragnarok grabs D-Arc right back. If you have these though, I would definitely hang on to them because ABCs do some of the builds will be running this card, so definitely hang on to it. Then we have the 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Again, Foolish is really important, good in this deck. Being able to, you have so many cards that work in the graveyard. Kind of self-explanatory. Opens up a lot of combos. 1 for 1. We want to see our Keplers oft as possible. And then for the last spell card, we have 1 copy of Burial from Different Dimension. This would probably be in here even when Pot of Divinity comes out, because as much as Pot of Divinity is a side deck card in this deck, simply because you want your resources back in the graveyard, not in the back of the deck. And then the only trap I play is the 1 copy of Dark Contract with Witch. So my builds are playing 2, but I think 1 is more than enough. It's searchable, and it does pump up your DD monsters in your opponent's turn. So yeah. Then for the extra deck, this is kind of obviously, the biggest change from my last list, which is, of course, this card. I think we've all been waiting for this card. We have 3 copies of DD Flame King Genghis. Genghis is absolutely, this is basically the spinal cord of the deck. Since it was released in the OCG, so you don't know what this card does. If another DD monster special summon to your field while you control this face-up card, except during damage step, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Release this effect once per turn. And if it's card in owner position destroyed by a battle or an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 Dark Contract graveyard, add it to your hand. This card is absolutely critical to the deck. In the full power build, I think I'm only running 2, but for now, this card's at 3 because it opens up so many just disgusting combos in this deck. Basically, being able to reuse everything in this deck is a wolf bark. I think is what someone on Dueling Network said once. Then since we do have Genghis, D-Arc has gone down to 2. D-Arc is really good because obviously it turns all your burn damage into healing. It's also cute, if you ever happen to run into something like Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. 2 is a good number though. I really don't think I need 3 anymore. I don't feel like I need the 3rd. Then for the last fusion, we have the 1 copy of DD Wave King, Oblivion King Kaiser Ragnarok. This card is really good because it basically has a non-targeting, fluff fright for bear type effect. Whenever an attack is declared involving this card, if your opponent controls multiple monsters, you can snatch that monster, and this card gains attack equal to that monster. And especially if you're attacking into something, that's really good because you can attack into their smallest attack monster, snatch their monster, and then a replay will occur, and you can smash them for insane numbers of damage, and it doesn't target. Now for the Zincos, we have the 1 copy of Formula Synchron. This is kind of here until this is probably going to be in the full power build as well, but Formula is really good because you can synchro with this in your Kepler, get your Kepler off the field, draw a card. The 1 copy of Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. Some of the lists I do play this card. So basically, the combo with this card is you go into this with Genghis and one of your level 1 tuners. You can synchro summon that, and then you grab your Abyss Ragnarok that's already used its Pendulum effect from the Pendulum Zone and special summon it, and then Ragnarok will trigger because it's been special summon and grab something back. And probably grab the Genghis you just synchroed with. Cards actually really also has a Majesty's Fiend effect that's pretty solid. Then of course it wouldn't be a DDD without this card. One copy of Sight Frame Lord Omega. I know the OCG's card recently got limited, and for good reason, but in this deck, this card is absolutely like amazing. You can return all your banished slimes, continue to reuse them, and like I would honestly I don't know if I would play the deck without this card. It's like when you have it, absolutely amazing. Now for the exceeds, of course, we have the one DDD Duo Don King Kali Yuga. This card is one of the best boss monsters I think Yu-Gi-Oh has seen in a long time. So whenever it's Exceed Summon, you can press the turn, nothing else can be activated. So it's like I hit the field, bam. If I resolve, nothing else. And then on top of that, it's a Heavy Storm on legs, and it has a second effect that allows you to recycle your Dark Contract. It's a quick effect. The card is brutal. It ends games. Then we have the one copy of DD Wave King Kaiser. This is here for Berfamex. Berfamet's level 4, and you can make you can overlay with your dead Keplers on the field. That's a decent effect. Whenever at the end of during either player's turn, you can detach the seed material, and at the end of the battle phase, if all your monsters are with this card are special summon, or you can special summon them all back after they're destroyed. And that's actually, but you take damage, I think, on the next standby. The main effect you care about, whenever it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can search or add one Dark Contract and deck your hand. So it's actually good fusion fodder as well. Opens up a lot of plays. And of course, I was playing the rank 5 that dumps, but this card is so much better. One copy of Beatrice Lady the Eternal. You overlay for this card with 2 of your Genghises, and then you could just opens up, it does what Tell did for the deck, but so much faster. You can dump any of your DDD monsters you need, and on top of that, you can also dump your Jet Synchrons or any of your tuners you need in the graveyard. The one copy of Hope Harbinger Titanic Galaxy. I would not play the deck without this card. It's a brutal card. I think all of us have to stare one down. Then for the last 2 exceeds, I actually have interesting cards. So we have one copy of Galaxy Eyes copy of Galaxy Eyes Form Armor Dragon. So the way these cards work is basically Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon will snatch an opponent's monster, and if it's an Exceed monster, you can snatch it and then stack Full Armor Dragon on top of it. So it's actually really good for dealing with annoying Exceed monsters like Titanic Galaxy, for a great example. You can overlay into this, snatch your Titanic Galaxy, then snatch this on top of it, detach material, pop a card. It's absolutely brutal. Cards are amazing. So anyway, guys, let me know down below the comment section what you think of my new DDD list. Are there any cards I'm missing from this list? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Anyway, guys, as always, I thank you guys for watching. So, Storm, signing out.